Okie dokie. So I'm doing this quick little video. Don't know how long it's gonna be, but I have some irregular American bread, and then I have some bagels. So I had a person comment and wanting for me to do some American bread. Now I know I did do Japanese bread from a store that I bought, and I wanted to do that because that's what this toaster is meant for. And so I did that because everybody else does American bread in it, for most of the English videos, anyways. And I wanted to do it what it was initially intended for. Now, yes, you can use American toast and other breads in this, but with this being such a specific product, it is 100% meant for that style of bread. But now that does not mean it'll also not work for American bread. But so I'm just doing this as a fun little addition, and trying to do some American bread in it, just so you can see that it does also work, and so you can also have some examples of it, and then also my thoughts on that portion of the bread, of the variety of bread, because we are kind of lucky in the sense that we like a lot of bread, and so since we like a lot of bread, there's a lot of bread products that we have, whereas in for most Japanese people, they really don't eat much bread, as far as like a breakfast item, like how we do here, or as like with hot dogs, hamburgers, typical, like when you have like a not a regular meal, but like a special meal, like barbecues on the weekends where you have hamburgers and hot dogs and all that kind of stuff. They really don't do that, and you could tell because when America gave them all these, all this flour to make bread with, they decided instead to make noodles, and that's how ramen got so popular. Was all that extra flour they got. So there's your history lesson for today. And so besides that, we have a lot of variety of breads from all over the place. Not just the standard American loaf bread, but also bakery stuff. The more fancier stuff like that. Local bakeries have their own kind of mix of stuff. And then like croissants, bagels, different companies that make them, different brands, different restaurants. So with bread, we have such a wide variety that it's kind of hard to kind of encompass all of that. So I just grabbed a couple things. Well, just these two breads that will help illustrate what I'm trying to get across. And so let's get to that point already. There we go. And so sorry if that rambles on, and sorry if I'm gonna be rambling a bit for this video. So now, when you use American bread, you're gonna start to mess with this button a lot, with this, where it's the numbers of the slices of the bread. So in regular, the Japanese loaf that I buy, it's a 6 slice loaf. So I just click that button, and then with just the plain bread function, and then with how well done I want it to be cooked. Even though that last one is like all fully colored and not shaded in like the other guys, that's not burnt. That's still gonna be like a golden-esque color, and it's gonna be like perfect every single time. Now, since it's made for that, you kind of got to start messing with these guys right here, and then if you're not sure about the bread, I always just go medium, And so I'm a little bit more comfortable with the regular, traditional loaf of bread, and this is the kind that I like. I like the Oro wheat, just because I think it tastes really good. I know I got white bread, which isn't the healthiest, but I like it, and I got it because I was gonna make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and so just for the sake of that, oops, I didn't realize focus was off. And just for the sake of that, just for the sake of that, that's why I got white bread. So let me grab a slice. And I do put that piece of aluminum foil just to make it easier to clean and to wipe off and stuff like that. Or if anything ever sticks to the bottom, because I have done croissants and I have done bagels in it. Sometimes like blueberries in the bagels, or like the cinnamon in the bagels, will want to stick to the bottom. And so to help prevent that, or prevent other unnecessary, cleaning and dirtying it up, I just put a little piece of aluminum foil on the bottom. That's my life hack. And so anyways, back to the bread. So I'll just put the bread in the middle, nice and easy. And so with how this toaster works, how it has both heating elements on top and the bottom, it's able to heat it from both sides evenly with an even pattern Whereas you get a traditional toaster, it just has like the wire, and so that's how you get like that wire stamp. It's because those heating coils are directly hitting it with heat and only in that area. And that's why I was up late at night one day trying to figure out how to toast the bread evenly and in a well manner so where it's all toasted evenly. And then the next problem you had is as it's heating it from both sides in the toaster, any steam will evaporate up through the top. And that's where you lose a lot of the moisture. And so that's how you lose a lot of the moisture. And so if you look very closely, I mean, the regular traditional, just the little toaster where it just clicks down and clicks up, jumps at you. Those toasters, I mean, they do have steam come off of them, but since that steam is going straight up, it's not staying. And so that's where this one, comes into play, where since it's in an enclosed space, and you have both heating elements hitting it at the same time and trying to trap in whatever moisture you have, that's why it tastes different, and it tastes a lot better. And if you have really good bread to go with it, it helps stretch that even further, where you still get that crispiness on the outside, and the middle is still has moisture, and it still has that, like when you have a fresh loaf of bread, it's nice and soft and fluffy. It helps to mimic that very, very well while using the own bread's moisture. And that's what's really great about this toaster, and that's why I really, really love it. And the note, it is meant just for bread. Always remember that. I mean, I love toast, and I shove bagels in here. I shove croissants in here, hot dog buns, hamburger buns. Unfortunately, one bun at a time. I'm fine with that. I don't have any problem with that. But I know for most people, that's not going to be very helpful because they're going to want to do, two things at a time. They're going to want to do this at a time, that at a time. And that's where it kind of loses all merits or all of its functionality for most people. But for me, I think it's great, and I freaking love it because I do love just regular toast with a little bit of butter. So with that being said, the next bread I also got was bagels. The reason why I got bagels, and I think bagels is the best item because of the fact of bagels are boiled before they're cooked, and so because of that, the outside has that kind of super soft and like I want to say rubbery, but not rubbery, but bouncy texture to it that you do notice. And so that is all steam coming from the machine by itself. And here we go. It's going to be hot, hot, hot. Even though the bottom right here is not looking toasted, it is. So you can see it's toasted all throughout. And the backside has a beautiful color to it as well. You can hear that crisp. Toast ASMR. Okie dokie. And so oh, this is hot. Yeah, the bread is still very hot, but I'm going to try to open it. Unfortunately, my camera's not that crazy good, but you can see there is still that bounce to it. And since this is a good bread, good quality bread, there is plenty of. That tastes good. Nice and toasted. Perfect. Okay. So, trying to hurry up now. To go along with that bread, bagel. So, something very special about a bagel. Like I was saying, it is boiled. So that's why it has like this super smooth texture. That's probably like some yeast, and not yeast, what was it? Cornmeal or something, so it doesn't stick to the bottom. Anyways, since it's boiled, it gives the outside that super smooth texture to it. And the inside is still like the regular bread. It still has a bounce to it, but it's more chewier, And I think this is pretty close. Closest thing I could get to a Japanese style toast, where the inside is very spongy and very compressible and soft. But then when you toast it, it helps to retain the moisture and helps to retain this bounce that it has, and the outside gets nice and crisped up. I don't want to open up another one, sorry, but this is the one I have, for example. But anyways, I think if you want to see or closely experience easily how the Japanese toast would be, I would recommend just getting a bagel if you don't have a Japanese bakery or something nearby. Especially with the tops, since the top, oh, I guess this one's just a miscut, since the top has more of a surface to it, more area, so you'll be able to get that poofy fluffiness and then that crunch. So let's toss that in there while I ramble on. Since that is a smaller one, I'm gonna stick with the 8, and then I'm gonna stick with the medium. That's always a safe bet, so that way, if it doesn't turn out to how you toast it, you can open it real quick, and if it's not how you like to be toasted, just do it again and then close it really quick, because you do not want the moisture to escape. So anyways, so I think this will be the cheapest, easiest for anybody who wants to try to get that similar experience to the Japanese toast, to try it out with that. I think that'll be your best bet. Anyways, but like I said, I have tried croissants in here one time, and I thought that was freaking amazing, because the croissants, I got some pretty good ones that are actually made with butter, not margarine, because that's not the same. So with butter, and I was able to get the outside of the croissants extremely buttery, flaky, crispy, and the inside still maintained a fluffiness. Not, it didn't dry it out. Like if you ever had toasted a croissant or something, or even have had like bad croissants, the inside will be like super super dry. Not, and it's not very appealing at all. And that's the problem that you would have. Whereas this toaster was amazing with the croissant. I got these little mini ones; they were freaking great. Oh man, it tasted so dang good. I freaking loved it. And so that's what I would also recommend with this toaster. But it's kind of at your own risk, kind of in a way. You're gonna have to sit down and experiment with different stuff, mess with these other buttons, and then just stick to the main bread function, and then just kind of go from there. I could sit down one day and then experiment with all kinds of different bread loaf types, and then go through that, but that would take a while, unfortunately. And so there we go, it's going. You can start to see a little bit of it starting to steam up. Not by much, though. Let me see. Okie dokie. Might have been a little undercooked. Oh no, it's toasted. Ooh, it's hot, 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 hot. So, oh, that smells so good. I can smell blueberries. So it doesn't look toasted, but that is toasted. It is toasted all around, which is good. That's what we wanted. And then you can see, I'll put this underneath here. You can see that it still maintains a good bounce. Oh yeah, it's still good. Even by itself, no butter, no cream cheese, it still tastes really good. And this, like I said, this helps illustrate what the Japanese bread is like, because it would still be super fluffy in the middle, but the outside still has a crispiness to it. Oops, camera, calm down. Sorry, my camera focus is all wonky sometimes. So, yeah, I think this is the best way if you would want that similar texture. Not 100% the same, but it's very similar to this. And unfortunately, that's all the bread I have. Okay? That I have to show. Plus, I think I've rambled on enough. But if you plan on just doing American style toast, if you're not close to any Japanese bakeries, you're fine. You can still make it work, but just remember, it's just for bread. You can do, there was some cooking recipes, but they were very, 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 very low, because it did come with like a little cookbook. I don't have it because I bought this used off of some random Japanese person. So you can use it. You're just gonna have to experiment a little bit with these settings, and then once you kind of get an idea for what you like or what you're trying to do or what you want, then it's way easier from there. So hope this helps, and that's all I got for this one. So thanks for watching.